Below the sleeping streets, the treatment level continues through the night without interruption. Blue light rests softly against the concrete walls. The underground corridors remain dry beneath the quiet ventilation system. Nothing in the lower plant feels rushed. Water moves somewhere beyond the sealed chambers. The sound never fully disappears. It stays low behind the walls, steady enough to blend into the building itself. Near the first observation window, dark water turns slowly inside a wide, circular basin. A pale reflection drifts across the surface from one of the ceiling lights. The movement reaches the outer edge, then fades back into stillness again. No alarm breaks the quiet balance underground. The walkway beside the basin remains empty. Metal railings hold a faint, cool shine beneath the blue service lamps. A small drain near the corner reflects a thin line of light across the floor. Nothing crosses the corridor. Farther inside the plant, large pipes continue overhead through the concrete ceiling. Their surfaces remain slightly cool beneath the airflow from the vents. Small labels sit beneath each valve wheel, softened by the low lighting. Some paint has worn smooth from years of use. Tonight, every valve remains untouched. The air underground feels stable here. Not cold, not warm, only controlled. The ventilation system continues at the same measured pace, while the city above grows quieter with each passing hour. A narrow channel runs beneath a clear, protective cover beside the lower walkway. Water slides through it in a dark, silent line. Tiny bubbles appear briefly near one edge and disappear again before reaching the next section. The surface smooths immediately afterward. Near the center corridor, a control screen glows softly inside a recessed wall panel. Its display remains unchanged beneath the blue overhead lights. Flow levels within range. The message stays fixed against the dark screen. No additional notice appears beside it. The deeper parts of the treatment level feel slower than ordinary buildings. The corridors repeat themselves in calm, industrial patterns. Concrete walls, quiet pumps, soft reflections on metal surfaces. Nothing asks to be followed from one moment to the next. Somewhere farther underground, a pump lowers in tone for several seconds. Not louder, only deeper. The vibration moves gently through the floor beneath the walkway. Then the system settles back into its familiar rhythm again. Near a sealed maintenance door, a yellow floor line curves beside the wall before disappearing into shadow. The painted surface remains perfectly clear beneath the overhead lights. No footsteps pass across it tonight. The observation glass beside the settling basin remains clean and dry. Dark water continues its slow movement behind the thick panels. A faint ripple touches the outer edge once, then disappears completely. The chamber returns to the same calm surface as before. Blue lights continue at uneven distances along the underground corridor. One shines brightly near the filtration room. Another glows more softly beside the lower pipe access hatch farther ahead. The lighting never fully brightens the space. It only guides the quiet shape of it. Near the filtration level, rows of sealed tanks remain lined beneath overhead conduits and cable trays. Their curved sides catch dim reflections from the service lamps. A low mechanical hum rests steadily around them. Nothing changes the rhythm of the room. The city above feels very far away now. No traffic reaches the underground plant. No voices move through the stairwells. Only water and machinery continue through their slow nighttime cycle beneath the concrete structure. A clipboard remains attached beside a storage cabinet near the rear wall. The last entry was written hours ago in dark blue ink. No fresh mark has been added since then. The paper remains flat beneath its metal clip. Time loosens underground. The repeating corridors and quiet systems begin to feel continuous with one another. The slow movement of water replaces the feeling of separate minutes passing. Nothing here needs to hurry toward morning. A small relay clicks once from inside the recessed control panel. The sound lasts less than a second. Then the ventilation hum quietly fills the corridor again. The display remains unchanged. Near the far end of the lower level, another observation window faces a darker, settling chamber. The water inside barely moves beneath the dim reflections above it. Concrete walls hold the surface in complete stillness. No wave reaches the edge. No pressure disturbs the basin. The underground treatment plant continues exactly as it should through the deep hours of the night. Water moves steadily behind sealed walls. Blue service lights remain fixed against the concrete corridors. Far below the sleeping buildings above, the lower treatment level continues in its quiet nighttime cycle. Blue service lights remain active beside the concrete walkways. The underground air feels steady and controlled. Nothing in the plant asks for urgency. Water continues moving behind thick walls and sealed filtration chambers. The sound blends softly into the structure around it. Pumps, vents, and distant flow remain balanced beneath the low ceiling lights. Near the settling basin, dark water turns in a slow, circular movement beneath the observation glass. Its surface reflects a pale strip of blue light from overhead. A faint ripple drifts toward the outer wall, then disappears without sound. The chamber settles back into stillness almost immediately. A metal walkway follows the curve of the basin beside a low safety rail. Its surface remains dry beneath the ventilation system. Small bolts stay fixed evenly along the rail supports. No maintenance cart waits nearby tonight. The corridor remains clear. Farther underground, thick pipes continue through the concrete walls in long, horizontal lines. Their surfaces carry a soft, industrial warmth beneath the blue lights. Small labels remain attached beside each pressure valve. No indicator changes beside them. The treatment level feels separate from ordinary time at this hour. The corridors repeat themselves quietly through the underground structure. Observation windows, control panels, drain channels, soft blue reflections across polished concrete. Nothing pushes the night forward. A narrow filtration channel moves beside the lower walkway under a transparent cover panel. Water slides through it in a dark, continuous line. Tiny bubbles gather briefly near one edge, then dissolve before reaching the next section. The surface becomes smooth again. Near the central control area, a recessed monitor glows softly inside the wall. Its screen remains dark except for one line of pale lettering. Night flow stable. The message does not change. No second notice appears beneath it. The air system above the corridor continues at the same measured pace. Ventilation hum moves evenly through the overhead ducts. The sound stays low enough to blend into the concrete structure itself. Everything remains balanced underground. Somewhere deeper inside the facility, a pump lowers slightly in tone for several seconds. The vibration moves gently through the floor beneath the walkway. Not strong, only noticeable enough to feel connected to the building around it. Then the system settles back into its familiar rhythm again. Near a sealed service door, a yellow floor line curves quietly beside the wall before disappearing around the next corridor. The painted surface remains perfectly clean beneath the low lighting. No footsteps cross the line tonight. Behind another observation panel, rows of filtration tanks remain still beneath dim industrial lights. Their curved sides reflect pale blue shapes against the concrete room. A low mechanical hum continues around the tanks without variation. Nothing in the chamber requires adjustment. The city above feels distant now. No traffic reaches the underground plant. No voices pass through the stairwell doors. Only water continues through the hidden channels beneath the sleeping streets. A small clipboard remains attached beside a gray storage cabinet near the rear filtration room. The paper beneath its metal clip remains perfectly flat. A final inspection mark from earlier in the evening stays visible near the bottom corner. Nothing else has been added since then. Blue service lights continue at uneven intervals through the lower corridors. One glows brightly beside the control junction. Another fades softly near the access hatch farther ahead. The lighting never fully brightens the underground level. It only holds the shape of the corridors inside the dark concrete structure. Time begins to loosen again beneath the treatment plant. The movement of water replaces the feeling of separate minutes passing. The repeating systems become part of one slow, continuous rhythm underground. Nothing here needs to arrive anywhere else. A quiet relay clicks once inside the recessed wall panel. The sound lasts only a moment. Then the steady hum of airflow quietly fills the corridor again. The display remains unchanged. Near the far end of the lower level, another settling basin rests beneath dim blue reflections from the overhead lights. The surface barely moves behind the thick observation glass. One faint shimmer touches the outer edge of the water and fades immediately. The chamber returns to complete stillness again. The underground treatment plant continues exactly as it should through the deep nighttime hours. Water moves steadily behind sealed walls. Pumps continue their quiet rhythm beneath the concrete ceilings. And below the sleeping city above, the blue lights remain softly fixed along the corridors. Deep beneath the quiet streets above, the treatment plant continues through another slow hour of the night. Blue service lights remain fixed along the underground corridors. Concrete walls hold the same cool stillness around the lower chambers. Nothing in the facility feels unfinished or unsettled. Water continues through hidden channels beyond the observation rooms. The sound stays low behind thick walls and sealed filtration systems. Pumps maintain their steady rhythm beneath the floor without drawing attention to themselves. Near the central basin, dark water turns slowly beneath a wide section of reinforced glass. Soft reflections drift across the surface from the overhead lights. A small ripple reaches the edge of the chamber once, then fades back into the wider stillness again. No warning tone follows. No pressure changes inside the room. The walkway beside the basin remains completely dry beneath the ventilation system. Metal railings continue beside the concrete edge in smooth, repeating sections. Small bolts remain evenly seated along the supports. Nothing interrupts the order of the corridor tonight. Farther along the underground level, thick, insulated pipes continue overhead beside cable trays and sealed conduits. The surfaces carry a faint industrial warmth beneath the blue service lights. Small printed labels remain attached beside each valve wheel and pressure marker. No maintenance panel stands open nearby. The lower plant feels separate from ordinary movement at this hour. The corridors continue in quiet industrial patterns beneath the city. Observation glass, drain channels, control panels, long sections of concrete walkway beneath low blue light. Nothing asks to be followed from one moment to the next. A narrow filtration stream moves beneath a clear protective cover near the lower access path. Dark water slides steadily through the enclosed channel. Tiny air bubbles gather briefly along one edge before dissolving into the current again. The surface smooths immediately afterward. Near the monitoring area, a recessed control display glows softly inside the wall beside the filtration room. The screen remains dark, except for several pale indicators arranged in still horizontal lines. Flow consistent, night systems active. No additional message appears beneath them. Ventilation continues through the overhead ducts at the same measured pace. Air moves gently across the ceiling panels without changing temperature or pressure. The hum blends naturally into the underground structure around it. Everything inside the treatment level remains balanced. Somewhere deeper below the plant, a pump shifts very slightly in tone for a few quiet seconds. The the vibration moves faintly through the concrete beneath the walkway, not strong enough to disturb the calm rhythm of the building. Then the sound settles back into its familiar pattern again. Near a sealed equipment room, a yellow guidance line follows the lower wall before turning softly around the next corridor. Its painted surface remains clear beneath the dim overhead lighting. No footsteps pass through this section tonight. Behind another observation window, rows of filtration tanks rest beneath low industrial lights. Their curved metal sides reflect pale blue shapes against the concrete floor. A quiet mechanical hum continues evenly around the chamber. Nothing in the room requires adjustment. The city above feels farther away now than it did earlier in the night. No traffic reaches the underground levels. No voices move through the stairwells connected to the surface entrance. Only water and airflow continue through the hidden systems below the sleeping streets. A clipboard remains attached beside a gray storage cabinet near the rear service corridor. The paper beneath its clip has not shifted. The final inspection mark from earlier in the evening remains visible near the lower corner. Nothing new has been written since then. Blue service lights continue at uneven distances along the treatment level. One glows brightly near the control junction. Another fades softly near the lower maintenance hatch farther down the corridor. The lighting never fully brightens the underground space. It only keeps the shape of the corridors visible through the quiet dark. Time loosens beneath the treatment plant. The movement of water begins to replace the feeling of passing minutes. The repeating systems settle into one continuous rhythm underground. Concrete, airflow, metal, and dark water remain balanced around one another. Nothing here moves toward urgency. A quiet relay clicks once from somewhere behind the filtration room wall. The sound lasts less than a second. Then the ventilation hum quietly fills the corridor again. The control display remains unchanged. Near the far end of the underground level, another settling chamber rests beneath faint reflections from the overhead lights.